well, Twitch stream video. Anyway, we're starting off the stream today. We've got a little something different. We're doing a mukbang. It's kind of an echo in here. This room is the office room, so it doesn't have much furniture in here. So the echo sound quality might be a little bit different. So forgive me if you can hear. I got what's this? An adapter running to change up the electric, and I got a fan going as well because it gets hot in this room, man. So anyway, today is a mini mukbang, I should say. A lot of you guys are asking, what do you eat? You know, what kind of foods are you eating? All this other jazz. So I thought, you know what, today I'm going to show them what I eat usually after my workouts, and even just on a regular day. So today wasn't a workout day. I didn't do no workout today. And today is a holiday here as well in Grenada. It's Emancipation Day. So no clients, no workout. So I just thought, you know, let me shoot a video, show these guys what I'm eating today. One of my favorite go-to meals. So if you're not aware, I am plant-based, vegan, ITIL, whatever you want to call it. So my meals obviously don't include animal products or anything, you know, close to animal products. I do have honey, which is an animal product. I won't lie, I do have honey. I think that's the only sort of thing that I do consume. And figs, I know figs is up for debate as well, because the way that figs are processed, it's like the plant captures a fly or something, and then it creates a, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But this is the meals that I eat to build, maintain, stay healthy, remain strong. I haven't got all the the normal ingredients that I usually have, but I do have the basis of the meal. So let me just move this down so you can see what we got going on. So we've got, this is tofu scramble with some seasonings, very nice. Got some avocado here as well, and then we just got normal wheat toast. I don't do white toast. I do either brown bread, whole wheat, you know, or a mixture of whole wheat and something else. And then we just got some simple oats right here. This is oats. This is chia, cinnamon, peanut butter. We would usually do some flax seeds or something like that, or some sea moss, something along those lines. But I didn't have no sea moss ready, and I couldn't find the flax seeds. I think they might be finished, or I might have to grind up some fresh ones. And I just got some. It's called sweetened condensed coconut milk. So you know that sweetened condensed milk. This one's just coconut, so it doesn't have the cow's milk in it. It's just coconut milk with a bit of sugar. Usually I would do a banana, but we ain't have no bananas right now, or any ripe bananas right now. So we're just doing that. So that's the two items that I have. So back in the day when I did eat meat and meat products, I would usually, it's very similar to this. So I would just do scrambled eggs, some tuna, some spinach or avocado, and just some toast. And the oats obviously would include cow's milk and other things of that nature, man. So let's enjoy. Praise to the Most High for this meal. See how it is, man. You know, a lot of people think that eating healthy is boring, but it's not about food being exciting when you want to look a certain way. I will say that, but it can be flavorful as long as you add the right seasonings. And you know, you're careful with the season you're adding, because you know some of them sauces and things like that, they're very high in sugar. They have all these like other added ingredients and all this other stuff, and can be high in calories as well. So you got to be careful the seasoning, the flavorings that you're adding to your food, especially if you're on a health journey or on a journey to lose weight. So things like that you got to be mindful of. So I usually use dried seasonings. So, you know, things like oregano, parsley, paprika, turmeric, all those sort of things to season my food. So that way I know exactly what's going into it. So there's not this, oh, if, buts, or maybes. Generally, occasionally, I would use like a sauce or something. But I'm always mindful of the ingredients that I'm using on my food. Oh, sorry, that's in the sauces that I'm using. You know, for a lot of them, very high in sugar, very high in, you know, salts, all this other stuff that necessarily kind of mess up your your makeup, you know, your microbiome, all that other stuff. You don't wanna overdo it. But I wouldn't say not to have flavored food. But one of my favorite things, that's the same. People go, oh, how do you eat that? What is it? I say I'm eating for function, not for taste right now. You know, I'm eating to look a certain way, to move a certain way, to feel a certain way. I can omit flavor in order to reach, you know, the point that I want to reach. And this is not to say that I don't ever have flavorful food, but for the most part, there's certain things you gotta, you know, cut out or cut back on that you know is not serving you, to be honest. So things like that. This is organic avocado. This is from my neighbor's tree here in Grenada, man. Quality. Can't beat it. The flavor from compared to like a shop commercial, you know, avocado compared to this one, nowhere near, no contest. I know a lot of people are skeptical about, you know, soy and soy products. I would just say, like anything, don't overdo them, especially if you are plant-based, and try to get the least processed sort of soy that you can. So you want organic soy, or you know, anything like that, or the organic tofu, tempeh, whatever soy-based product that you plan to use. But that argument's kind of flawed, because a lot of people who do eat animal products, like they're feeding the animals soy products, so you're getting the byproduct of soy anyway. So with anything, don't overdo it, man. I'm not really here to try and convert anyone onto my sort of diet or my lifestyle. Do what you must, but just eat as healthy as you possibly can, you know. That's what I tell my clients as well, because they ask, oh, what's your diet? I say, oh, I don't eat meat or whatever, and they're like, oh, really? But I don't try to force that lifestyle on them. I don't think that's what it's about. And I think that's where people get a bit annoyed, when you try to force someone into something. If you're interested and you want to know and you want to learn and you want to try it, sure, I'll give you all the information that you need and what I believe to be true. But if you're not interested, I'm not there trying to shovel this information into your head, la la la. We can have a debate and we can discuss, and you know, we can go back and forth about, you know, why you think this diet is beneficial, whatever, and the elements that it will have, and why maybe you don't think what I'm doing is, you know, that's cool. We can get into that. And you might teach me something that I didn't know. Maybe I'm not getting enough of something, but I suppose that's where supplementation comes in, because a lot of people will argue, oh, well, if you're going on a certain diet and you have to supplement, how good is the diet? But everybody supplements, no matter what diet you're on. Food is so, has been so, not broken down, I don't know the exact word, but it's been, I can't think of the exact word, but it doesn't have the same nutritional value that it used to have. So these days we have to supplement in order to get the nutritional value that we need. And obviously not all supplements are made equal. You do want to go with the organic ones, or the ones that, you know, that you can get from nature or the earth. You know, the pill stuff is easy to use and it's easy to remember, but you got to go a little bit a step further. You got to make sure that you're getting majority of your supplementation through food, and then after that you can use like a root or a herb to add to that supplementation. Then that's the most ideal way, I would say, that you could do it. But yeah, for the most part, man, just eat as healthy as you possibly can. I think most people generally know what's healthy and what's not healthy. Sorry, I got water as well. Big thing of water. We'll get into water next. I think most people know what's healthy, what's not healthy, but they'll try to convince themselves that, you know, an unhealthy product is okay, you know. So don't be one of those people. Be honest with yourself. And if it's fried, if it's heavily processed, if it's full of sugars, salts, and, you know, ingredients that you can't pronounce or you don't know where they came from, probably not healthy. You know, the less ingredients in the food, the better. All right. For example, when you eat a piece of fruit, it's one ingredient usually. So banana is banana, an apple is an apple, those sort of things. But even if you were gonna, you know, go a step further and say something like organic peanut butter, when you pick it up and it just says peanut butter and maybe like some sea salt or something like that, 2 ingredients compared to some other commercial peanut butters where it's got like this seed and that seed and this sugar and this and this and this chemical, like, you know, and it is expensive. Some of the stuff is very, very expensive, don't get me wrong, and sometimes you do have to go for the less ideal option, but you want to build to a point where, you know, you make a sacrifice and you go, okay, I usually get X, Y, and Z, but today I'm going to get this product instead of the usual what I'm getting because I want to be healthier. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about making a decision and choices where you weigh up the options and you go, okay, I usually like to get popcorn, but I know this popcorn isn't the most healthy. So I'm still going to get some popcorn, but I'm going to get one that just has some sea salt or, you know, a light oil like a coconut oil or an avocado oil on it. You know, those sort of things. Instead of getting the ones that's full of whatever. It's those small choices that will make a big difference when you're trying to transform your physique and trying to eat better and live better, because when you're eating certain foods, it puts you in like a certain, I don't want to get too spiritual, but it puts you like a sort of an energetic mood. So you know when you eat something that's like really unhealthy, so let's say fast food or something like that, you just feel lazy and slouched like. But when you eat something that's nutritious, is healthy, that's been, you know, home cooked, whatever, you don't really get that sort of symptom unless the person's cooking it like they do in the restaurant. But for most part, even that, you'd miss out on all the chemicals and, you know, all the other stuff they add in to keep you coming back. So I tell most people, just cooking your own food is a very, very big thing. Like the objective of these commercial food chains is to get you coming back. So they're gonna put whatever they need to put in there to consistently make you want to crave the food, so that, you know, next time you're passing or you smell it or you're in the vicinity, you go and buy it. Whereas when you're making your own food, you don't have those sort of things in there. So a lot of people would argue, oh, when I make it at home, it don't taste the same or whatever, because yeah, you're skipping out on all the chemicals and other, you know, other stuff. And this is not to get all sciencey and whatever, but it's just to let people know that if you're really serious about, you know, health and fitness, you're gonna have to have a basic, not even basic, like intermediate level of cooking skills, you know. Or if you don't know how to cook, you're gonna have to learn how to cook, and how to cook to suit your palate to make it taste good, you know. Those of the, you know, people who want to continue to eat out and whatever, okay, you can get places that will make organic food, healthy food, but it's gonna cost you a lot. I'll be honest, it's gonna cost you a lot. Like those meal prep boxes or those like nutrition boxes that you can get. No offense to them, like no, nothing at all, but they're there to make a profit. And yeah, convenience is a great thing. If you don't have time to cook, by all means get those. But if you do have the time to cook and you're just choosing not to because you're being lazy and, you know, you want a fast meal, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice to a certain degree, you know, because cooking is an amazing life skill. If you're able to feed yourself and then as an extension of that feed your family and whatever, then you know, you can survive. You're not reliant on anyone to cook for you, you know, to keep you sustained, all the other stuff. So I would say for the most part, everybody needs to know how to cook. I've met some grown adults be like, I don't know how to cook nothing. You know what I mean? And they're at the mercy of whoever is willing to cook for them or the amount of money they have to spend on food. But yeah, man, just basics. Like YouTube is a thing, you know. You can go on YouTube, you can learn how to cook. You can find recipes online, all this other stuff. So there's not really an excuse in this day and age, not knowing how to feed yourself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, these are the meals that, well, this is the 2 meal options that I do like to eat. Love it, man. Very flavorful. Not too heavy on the system. And it's something that I've been doing consistently for years. And when they say, you know, if it's broke, don't try to fix it. That's that. But I will add in some, you know, different stuff every now and again. Sometimes I will add like some microgreens to my food, just for, you know, a bit more vitamins, minerals, those sort of things. Always I had the onion in there, tomatoes, peppers, things along that line, and just keep it as healthy as can be, man. You know, I know cooking is not everyone's cup of tea, but hey, I'm not gonna carry on repeating myself. So. And then let's get onto the water now. So you should mainly be hydrating with either water or some sort of you can do organic juice, and I mean like proper juice, not the box carton juice that you get from the shop. Those are okay, but you mainly, if you have a juicer and you have access to fresh fruit and stuff like that, or even frozen fruit, make your own juice, make your own smoothies, whatever, but don't overdo it. Those are the main things you really want to be consuming. Even if you juice vegetables and mix it in with the fruits, you know, those are the main things you want to be drinking. Water, juices, obviously teas as well. You can do coffee. I don't really do coffee. I do have coffee occasionally if I really am feeling like, you know what, I am so tired and there's no other option, or I already had like I didn't sleep well and I need something to help me get through the day. If I know I'm gonna have a busy day, then I might have a little spoonful of coffee in, like, you know, some chocolate or cocoa or whatever you want to call it. But I would never just drink coffee back to back, day after day, just to feel like, you know, normal. Because coffee is a stimulant at the end of the day, and if you're constantly stimulating your nervous system, you know, you need to give it a break. It's the same as pre-workout. Now, I used to take pre-workout. I used to drink coffee, you know, day after day. This is a long time ago. So I know what that feels like to be stimulated. And the crash after all those, you know, stimulants in your system, hey, it's tough sometimes, man. It's tough. And that's where that cycle comes in where, you know, stimulated, crash, I need to pick me up, I have another coffee, boom. And it's this constant up and down, man. So I would say for the most part, use coffee sparingly. Yeah, again, if you really need it, then of course, but don't overdo it, man. There's no need. No need at all. There is another product that you can use. I think it's called yerba mate. I believe it's very popular in South America and maybe Caribbean countries as well. Similar to coffee. It is going to provide you with energy, but it's a lot more natural and a lot less harsh on the system. So that's another option that you can go for. But those sort of energy drinks, like the caffeinated energy drinks and all that other stuff, you really want to steer clear of those, man. They're going to jack up your gut health. And again, it's just artificial nonsense that's in there at the end of the day. Nothing really of substance, sustenance, I should say, as well, inside it. It's just dressed up in a fancy bottle or can, or, you know, all that other stuff. Because when I was playing football, they used to feed us Gatorades. We had Gatorade on tap, you know. It was funny because at the time, you know, you're drinking Gatorade to replenish the electrolytes or whatever. And sure, there may be some electrolytes in Gatorade, but you found with most people on the team that as soon as they finish drinking the Gatorade, they would immediately need to drink some water. So a lot of people would kind of dilute the Gatorade to kind of kill, some of that. I don't know. From what I know, it's that sugar sucks water out of the body. And it will take it from whatever thing it can. So you need to do something where you need to be hydrated, but you're drinking something that may be very high in sugars. It's counteracting what needs to go on. So you need something that's, again, it does have sugars. So that's why I say things like watermelon, water. Well, water doesn't have sugars, but you know what I mean. To hydrate the system. Even just, putting a little bit of electrolytes in your water is better than, having something, and this is no hate against Gatorade, I'm just saying. It's better than having something which has colors and chemicals and high in sugar and high in this and high in that and whatever. I know a lot of people actually do so for like a pre-workout drink. What I've seen online is recently people are doing honey. Is it honey, Celtic salt, and water? I think something along those lines, where it's like 3 or 4 ingredients, and they're saying that it's helping them get through the workout. But one thing I know for sure is beetroot. Beetroot juice. You do your research on that. So many antioxidants. It's really going to help to provide you with energy, and it's not going to be like no big, oh my god, I feel like Superman now. But it is going to give you some energy, to be honest. So you could do some beetroot juice. It helps with I believe the transfer of red blood cells, or it helps to, something along those lines. Helps to move the blood around the system more efficiently. But don't quote me on that. I just know beetroot juice is one that's very good. So there was a pre-workout that I used to take. It was like a natural organic pre-workout. I used to take it from, I think it was My Protein. That was pretty good. Them ingredients was pretty clean, and I did feel energized after having it. So that was a good one. But yeah, for the most part, man, just eat healthy, train hard, and the results will come. And they won't come overnight, but they will come eventually. Months down the road, I'll be honest with you. I've seen a lot of my videos. Everyone's point A and point B is 2 different things. So you might be starting here, but you want to look like this. It's going to take you 2 years. Whereas someone else might be starting here and they want to look like this. It's going to take them 6 months. That is just the way it works. And sometimes you can look almost exactly the same as someone else, but based on their genetics, their lifestyle factors, all the other stuff, they might reach the point faster than you do, and that's okay. That's not, woe is me. It is just the reality of life, that life is not equal. Life is not fair. You might have to put in more work than someone else to attain the same level. You know what I mean? Or maybe not even attain the same level, just to get close to them. That is just the reality of life, man, honestly. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Accept it, move on, and just put in the work, man. Because things that take time, you appreciate them differently. What's the saying? Easy come, easy go. You really have to work for something and grind for something, and really put in that sweat equity. It hits different when you reach it, and this is not to say that you're satisfied when you reach it, but you're like, damn, I did this. I stayed consistent for a year, and now look. So if I'm able to stay consistent for a year, I could probably be consistent for the next 6 months. And who knows what I'll look like in the next 6 months. I might look even better, or I might be even smarter, or even more stout at what I'm doing at the end of the day. So just building that level of consistency and discipline, it's gonna hit different, man. I'm onto the oats now. We finished the tofu and the avocado and the bread, so onto the oats now. It kind of thickened up a little bit too much, but it's cool. It's cool, man. But Twitch, man, Twitch and YouTube is the main two platforms I'm focusing on right now, man. I like this streaming. I like the streaming. It's cool. Yesterday we had some people in the chat who was interacting, so that was really dope. I like that. Obviously, just starting out, you're not always gonna have people interacting, so it will come in time, and then obviously they'll give you topics to talk about and whatever. So I might start doing some polls on my Instagram about different topics to discuss, to talk about, all this other stuff. But for right now, man, we're just chilling, we're vibing, we're putting in the consistent work, consistent effort, and that's that, man. That is that. But I come to find that Twitch doesn't really have a big fitness community. From what I've seen and from what I've researched, there's not a lot of people on here who are live streaming workouts and, you know, fitness related stuff. I think some people mix it in with their content that they're already doing, but I haven't seen many channels that are solely dedicated to fitness and fitness related content. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Can we build a following on here or on Twitch, whatever platform you're watching it on now? That's gonna be very interesting. But either way, we're gonna do it all, man. You know, we want to share information. We want people to improve their lifestyle, be better. Because I'll tell you, I don't even have a large following like that. I got like 20k on 20k on TikTok, 18k on Insta, and then obviously YouTube. I think I got about 6 or 7k. No, 6k something. And on Twitch we just started, so we got like, how many followers we got? We got like 5 followers right now on Twitch. But still, I have received emails, DMs of people being like, bro, I've been following you since this time. You've really helped me to change my physique, la-di-da. Or, you know, you've really helped me to transform my body. Or I've been following your routines and I'm starting to see results. I mean, that sort of stuff is just dope to me. And that's me with a very, let's not say small, but yeah, I would say I'm still a very small creator. But I can imagine those who have, you know, a larger following, they must receive a lot of that, and that's probably what keeps them going, because it helps me. Like one time, someone actually sent me an email. I must find the email, but I'm not gonna put it up or anything. But you know, and it was like a very heartfelt email. He said he was going through a tough time. He come across my content, and it just helped him to get back, you know, not on his feet. I don't think he was suffering financially, but I just think mentally and physically he wasn't where he wanted to be. Anyway, yeah, your content has really helped me, and please keep going, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, damn, like, you're really connecting with people, you're really touching people. And some people were like, you know, that's whatever. But to me, it was actually quite a big thing, because sometimes when you're doing content, you just think, I'm just doing content. No one's really, you know, really engaged with it like that. Obviously, you have the people who consistently comment and, you know, like and whatever, you know, if you do content creation. But this guy, I didn't know who he was. He just came out of nowhere. He just sent me the email, and it wasn't the only words he sent me. I think I got about a few emails, mainly DMs as well. But it's always nice to see that what you're doing is helping someone, or, you know, encouraging someone to be better. So it's always that, man. But for the most part, we just keep going, man. See where this journey takes us. And stay consistent, as I said. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Stay locked in. These oats definitely need some more moisture. Gosh. almost like bread in this bowl. Jesus. Tastes good though, but I didn't realize that they would have thickened up this much, because usually the way I do my oats is I don't really cook them in a pot, or very rarely I'll, you know, in a saucepan. Very rarely I'll cook it like that. I just put the oats in the bowl, pour some hot water on them. Sorry, put the oats in the bowl, add all the ingredients, then pour hot water on them. Let it sit for a bit, you know, let it soften up, mix it up, and then eat it. But if you don't kind of add enough water, it becomes like very stodgy. Too much water is very watery, so you got to kind of get that right ratio of water to ingredients, or else, yeah, as I said, you end up with bread in a bowl. But it's cool. It's cool. I don't want to leave the stream right now, so we just gonna have to get through it. You know what I mean? But we will be doing some lifestyle content as well. So I do want to do some more cooking videos and things of that nature as well on the channel and on Twitch too. So I don't know, not every video will be a live stream. Some of it will be a designated video on the YouTube channel to, you know, I'm making XYZ, blah blah blah. If it is a live stream, then obviously I'll do Twitch first and then upload it to YouTube. But we're gonna try and just keep it balanced in between the live streams, excuse me, and actual dedicated fitness workouts, man. So that will be there. I don't want it to, I feel like the nutrition part is obviously important. The workouts are cool and stuff, but I feel like the nutrition part is where a lot of people fall down, just from my own personal experience. And that's not me personally, but I'm saying the people who I've trained and worked with and spoke to, it's the nutrition that it really gets to them, especially if they're a social person and they are in social settings and spaces quite a lot. They find that the nutrition kind of falls off. So we kind of work through a way in which, you know, either you are selecting the best thing that you can eat while you're out in terms of health and nutrition, or you just say no, or you have set days of where you will eat something, you know, a bit more lax, you know, gives you a chance to breathe and whatever. So that's why I feel like you got to have the nutrition part in it as well. But I think for most people, it is more so about the workouts. They like to watch the workouts and they like to try and, you know, implement certain training styles and methods and exercises into their own routine. And that's how I grew up doing it. I watched different YouTubers at the time, different workouts on YouTube, and I would just take what I felt like was good and leave, or, you know, discard what I feel like didn't fit or didn't resonate with me, I should say. And then you come up with your own sort of, this is my regime, this is my routine. Whether it's right or wrong, after a period of time, you'll be able to see, okay, I can cut back on doing shoulders because my shoulders are crazy and I need to focus more on triceps. So you design a new routine, or, you know, you review or revisit your current routine and say, okay, I need to start doing X, Y, and Z. So it's a constant reflection, I would say. You have to reflect on what you're doing and see if it's working. It's not just keep beating away at this thing until it works, because that's not how it works, if you see what I'm saying. So that is that, man. But decent mukbang, I should say. I'm gonna add a bit of water though. This is tough to try and get through. It's a tiny bit of water, nothing too crazy. But yeah, in regards to water as well, man, you want to make sure that you're drinking a sufficient amount throughout the day. I'm not the best at doing that, especially if I'm doing something. I kind of forget to drink water and I have to kind of say, drink some water. Because you can feel when dehydration starts to kick in. Because I had a coach who said, if you feel like you're dehydrated, you're already too far gone. Says you should have drunk water, you know, way before you start to feel the effects of dehydration. Because I've had headaches and stuff, and you know, not regularly, but I'm just saying in general. Once I feel a headache kick in, I don't think, oh, I know I'm dehydrated, let me go and drink some water, and usually it subsides. I used to get the affliction that, oh, I have a headache, let me take a headache tablet, go lie down, and then that's an artificial way to get rid of a headache. But more time, you're probably dehydrated, or you may be stressed or something along those lines. Drink some water, and drink a lot of water, and you will naturally see the headache subside. And that's if you're like not sick, or you know, you have some sort of ailment, but naturally the headache will go away. So drink water, drink plenty. I know people mostly say 2 liters a day minimum, but if you're working out, you're probably gonna have to do more than that, because you will need to replenish the water from your workout that you lost through sweat and perspiration, and then obviously your regular maintenance of water to maintain your body. And there's another example where I didn't drink enough water. So I had worked out roughly close to midday, 1 o'clock, so the sun was hot, and I did a workout, recorded the workout, and then I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to record a separate video after I'm done. So I must have probably spent about a good, let's see, workout probably took me about hour 30 minutes. Let's say the video took me about 30 minutes. Let's say 2 hours outside, peak heat. And I remember I was in the shower after the workout, and literally I couldn't bend my arm because the muscles in my tricep and my biceps, well, mainly my triceps, so I couldn't extend my arm to scrub myself properly in the shower, because I hadn't drunk sufficient water during and after the workout. So it was like, it's like a cramp basically, but it was literally, I couldn't, like, it was like, So anyway, I managed to finish bathing myself to a reasonable standard. Don't think I didn't, you know, I stopped bathing. I finished bathing myself, drank some water, and then naturally I could feel the muscle relax. As I said, it was probably, didn't have any water at all, so it didn't want to exert itself and use the last bits of water in it, or she get cramp. And that's probably what people who know cramp is, where, you know, a lack of hydration, lack of electrolytes, that sort of thing comes in. So yeah, just really focus on staying hydrated, because along with that, water is sometimes when you believe that you're hungry, you're actually just dehydrated. So the human body will try to look for water in anything, and if it's already telling you, hey, I need some hydration, you're not giving it water, it's like, okay, I'm gonna try and get it through food. So I'm gonna make you feel like you're hungry, so that the water in the food, so let's say for example, you know, we'll go with one of the most water dense food, let's say watermelon. So you eat some watermelon, you get the water, you get the other minerals and vitamins in the watermelon. So the body will naturally make you do that. But if you're not a person who eats watermelon regularly, you just eat all this other stuff that has like minimal amounts of water in it. It's just your body trying to get some more hydration in its system. So that being said, hunger does not always immediately equal food, I would say. I think most people know when they're hungry, but sometimes you're just, you might be peckish or whatever. Just drink some water, and you'll see that in most cases the hunger sensation will subside, you know, at the end of the day. And yeah, I'll probably say, so we spoke about food, you know, water. Yeah, I think that's probably like the major points that I could probably pick on. I don't want to like really nitpick and get too into the sciencey stuff, but for the most part, man,
You know when you're doing good and you know when you're doing bad. Yeah, a lot of people when I spoke to, just general questions, they will say, "Oh, I'm really struggling to lose weight, or to gain muscle." And I'll say, "Okay, so what are you doing right now?" And they'll say, "I'm doing this." Da, 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 da. And I'll go, "Okay, that's strange, because if you're doing all that, you should." But then you have to tell the truth. You have to say, "Oh, but I am drinking 3 sodas a day, and I'm eating at like 1 a.m." And you go, "Well, you know the problem already. You're just trying to skate around it." For the most part, stop doing those things. You'll probably end up seeing results. You'll probably attain the physique that you want to attain. But people lie to themselves every single day. People know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, obviously some people need to be told, and if you're ignorant to the information, then can't really blame the person. But majority of people, they know, but you're just making a decision not to make the right choices, and that's okay too. We all make bad decisions, but can you make more good decisions than bad decisions on I would say, a weekly basis? So if you're eating healthy Monday to, let's say Monday to Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the only 2 days where you're a bit lax with your meals and what you're eating, whatever. But this is not to say that you're going overboard and eating anything and everything, but you're more lax. You might have a couple slices of pizza, or you might have a burger or two. You might go out to a restaurant and enjoy yourself. That's okay. For the most part, 80% of the week was successful. The other 20%, okay, we can live with that. Because if someone said to you 80% of the time or 90% of the time, you're gonna hit X, Y, and Z, or you're gonna perform it, you'd take it. You'd be like, "Hey, that's a good percentage. I'm taking that." But to get into this mindset of you can eat good 3 days and then eat bad 4 days, and it's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. It's not about balance in when you're trying to improve your physique. It's about 90% of the time, I'm doing this. I'm focused on this. Some people can get away with it. You may not be one of them people. You have to accept it for what it is. Some people can eat what they want, when they want, how they want, and still have a great physique. Genetics is not fair. Life is not fair. But most people, they have to eat a certain way. They have to train a certain way in order to get the result. And that's that. So don't fight it. Like, if what you're doing is not working, stop doing it and change it. And then come up with a routine or a regime that works, that's going to get you results at the end of the day. And it's as simple as that. I would say it's very, very as simple as that. I did realize as well, the chat does not come up on the screen when I am putting this on YouTube, which I was wondering. So that's cool. It just looks like I'm talking to the camera on YouTube. I didn't know that. As I said, I'm new to Twitch, so I didn't know that. So that's a positive. I thought the chat would have been on the video when I download it and blocking the workout, or when I was talking. So that's fine, man. That is fine. But we're here, man. Today, another good day, another successful day. We're gonna reach our goals. Gonna remain consistent, disciplined, all that good stuff. We ain't letting no distractions, no one veer us, or lead us astray. We're focused, man. We're locked in. That's it. At the end of the day, you gotta stay locked in. Focus on what you want to gain from life, or from your current situation. If you want to improve it, if you want to do better, all that other stuff. I think first comes with intention. You got to say to yourself, this is what I want, this is what I want to go for. And then you have to be brutally honest with yourself and say, okay, where am I right now? Realistically, I wouldn't say how long it's going to take, because you never know, but realistically, what do I have to do to get from this point to the next point? Do you know what I mean? And then you just start doing the things. And that's where, like,
there's no perfect time to start. You could say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but there's no ideal moment, no ideal time. You just get started, and then you go from there. You go, okay, I started doing this, so how can I improve on this, or how can I do that, all this other stuff, and then yeah, man, you improve from there. But yeah, I think that's it for today, man. I don't really have a PC setup, so I can't really put stuff on the screen or watch anything like that. Hopefully one day we get a PC setup, we can make it more interactive. I know people can use their phones, but I have another phone, so I'm gonna have to do my research in regards to the Twitch situation. Figure it out so it is a bit more interactive. We can watch, react, discuss certain topics, videos, all of that jazz in more detail. But we're just starting off. I said, man, I just jumped straight in. I didn't really do too much research on Twitch. Obviously, I know the platform. I've seen Twitch streamers, whatever, but I didn't really like, Twitch. So let me jump in, man. Let's make a video, see how it goes, and then we'll learn along the way. If you watch my first Twitch stream, I'm there asking about how the chat, do I see the chat? How do I, whatever. Excuse me, la di da. So jump in, man. Figure it out along the way, and the best experience is field experience, first-hand experience, and we go from there. But yeah, that was today's mukbang, or mukbang, I don't even know how you say it. That's what I usually eat on a day-to-day basis as my first meal of the day. Well, actually, not, tell a lie. Well, depends how you count it. I usually have fruit and stuff before my workout, strictly fruit. I'll either have some tea or a little cocoa blend with whatever, but very light before my workout. Then after the workout, to replenish my system, I'm gonna do the tofu scramble with some some sort of vegetable or fruit, whatever you want to call it. And then we got the oats as well. I don't always do both of them, depending on how hungry I am, but it's either one or the other. Do you know what I mean? It is either one or the other. But I appreciate you guys for watching today. That is all for today's video, man. I don't know if I'm gonna do a live workout tomorrow, just based on recovery and time, but we'll see how things go, man. But there'll be plenty of videos dropping this month for sure, plenty of streams as well, so it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good, so stay tuned in, follow up, subscribe, all that other stuff if you haven't already, and that's it, man. So appreciate you guys. I'm out. Peace.